Greetings, one and all, from the White Mountains of Arizona. And today is very, what, Tara?
Windy.
Yeah, that's right. Look at that. Your mane is blowing.
Yeah.
So we're trying to keep out of the wind as much as possible. We're going to go down this hill and just try to stay out of the tunnel. And conduct what we like to call a spiritual walking chant.
Yeah. Come walk and talk with us.
Yeah, come walk and talk. We're just going to go on a little nature walk and just chat about what's been going on in our spiritual world this week.
Well, we just finished up a very unique channel.
Yeah, you got your mind blown a little bit, would you say?
I think so. I think, I mean, sure, I'll talk about it here, but I got a lot to process. We actually channeled the beings that are my higher self. The blue avians, although it's just the name we give them. They just kind of look like bluebird people, but that's just how we perceive them. They really have no form. They're just vapors. Oh, there's a little ultra light there. There's some trash in this.
Why would you point that out is my question. Like, we're in nature, you want to point out the blemishes?
Because I want to throw it away.
Okay, well, we're in the middle of a video. Anyway, she's so OCD, she's got to throw away trash on video.
I got a little bit of the ADD. Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know.
So, yeah, I mean, it was very interesting just talking to them and kind of what the birds on this planet represent and the numbers that I see often, what that actually represents. And I have to try to figure all that out too, because I don't quite understand what they were saying. Oh wow, there's some huge footprints. It could be a dog or a wolf.
Where is it?
Oh, there's another one over there. That somehow the numbers that I see are not my human DNA, but they just kept calling it DNA, but aspects of myself. And that when I plug in numbers into things, you know, and I think it's the numbers that unlock or manipulate things, it's me. I'm the numbers, you know. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah, and just how so many cultures, you know, connect to birds, but it's not really the birds they're trying to connect to. It's what the birds represent. So I got a lot to think about because I do love birds, you know. My first pets were birds. So interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
You have a lot to chew on, just like when I did my channeling that was to benefit me. It's a lot to chew on. I mean, we just did the channeling, so you haven't had time to really digest
I haven't really processed anything. And then afterwards, it's like, you know, I guess I know how James felt, you know, me channeling his higher self, you know, and just kind of like his higher self talking all about him for the internet. And I'm like, wow, like that's all me that was out there. I'm like, whoa, that's interesting.
If I did it, you have to do it too.
Yeah, I was like, well, yeah, we channeled James's higher self. I guess we could do mine.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. One thing that came up during that channeling was an event that Tara witnessed 2 times up here. While where by the RV or what? Where were you?
Yeah, I was sitting on what we lovingly refer to as our G cabin. And I'm sitting there and oh wow, this thing's just kind of sticking out of the ground. It's interesting. I'm sitting there and there's this giant tree kind of in my line of sight, and I see a raven flying by over the tree, and the raven just disappears into blue. Like it was probably not more than like 100 yards, 150 yards maybe from me. And it's not that there was clouds or anything. It was a blue sky. The bird just goes from being a bird there to there is no bird there. And then I'm like looking around. I can hear the bird still. And then I see the bird again, but now it's exited and it's kind of down in our little valley or something. I'm like, and then I saw that again, the same episode again. And yeah, so that came up in the channeling. James was asking what that event actually was. And it was like some sort of cut in the universe. Like shortcut, literally.
So I was thinking of it like a portal that the animal can use. Like we've been investigating. We did a couple channelings where the portals came up, right?
Yeah, and so my higher self, or the being that I was talking to, was saying it's like a portal, but it wasn't the same.
Right. So that's how I would see it. So they were like shortcutting to places, or what?
Yeah, and oh yeah, and then it was kind of showing me that the bird, like the raven itself, doesn't know it can do that, because it doesn't think that's possible.
Right.
But the energy that's in that bird, the spirit, it knows it can do that, so it just does it. And since it knows it, and it's the one controlling the bird, then the bird's body has to follow suit.
Because the bird's following its higher self.
Yeah, the bird's not followed by
Ego,
like we would think, because animals, they're living off their instincts and survival instincts, and we might think that they're very in the third dimension, when, at least for that bird or some birds, that might not be so.
So kind of the message of the channeling was that, that looks weird.
Well, that's some cool sandstone.
Was to study the birds more closely. Not their 3D aspects, not what they eat or what, but the energy behind it.
Yeah, I was seeing all these birds, like they're all looking at me during this channeling, and it's like, we're not birds. We only look the way you feel represents the energy that we embody. So you think we have wings and beaks and all of this, and we come in all these different colors. So that's just the energy that you perceive. And it's like, so tap into that energy. You can learn a lot from us, not just what you see with your own eyes, basically. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Wow, lots to study up here with all these birds migrating, passing through.
Yeah, maybe hey, we got our library card yesterday, so maybe you go check out some bird books if I can find some bird books there.
bird books. You had an event recently.
Oh, okay. So yes, so cool. Last night, me and a group of other folks from our little spiritual community, we had something called a 5D panel. It wasn't a live chat. It was a kind of a recorded panel discussion. I wanted to pick their brains. So stay tuned for some videos coming out. It's going to be a 3-part series.
What kind of topics did you discuss?
Oh, we went into everybody's thoughts on the darker side, or the shadow side of spirituality. Possible ego traps, or have things been inverted, and what is spirituality. We went into our personal daily spiritual practices and why we feel they work for us. Do they have to be elaborate? Do they have to have a lot of crystals? Those kinds of things. And yeah, it was really amazing. The people I chose, I wanted to choose people from different backgrounds, different spiritual beliefs, so it wouldn't be like a panel of, oh yes, we all just agree with each other because we're all besties, but they're amazing people. I love them, and I do consider them my friends, but not because they all agree with me. So definitely I look forward to sharing that with you guys. A lot of different points of view, and where people come from on understanding, like, let's say, the ego, or healing, what it means to connect the higher self to our 3D world. How does that work? Has it caused us problems in the 3D world? It was just, it was amazing, and it had to be at night. A lot of people, they work during the day, and so we had one lady who's from the UK, and so it was very, very early in the morning when she did this chat with us. So I highly appreciate it.
Okay, so when is this coming out?
I would say part 1's coming out in about a week.
Where's our offering?
That
I'm trying
way.
to end on the veggie offering.
Yeah, it's right over here.
We'll sign out as Tara shows you the offering we've made to the
Yes.
forest, which was flatly rejected.
But that's okay, because the offerings do help the soil.
Yeah, they just said,
So-
no, we're carnivorous, don't you know? We don't care for your rotten vegetables.
So we usually put our food scraps, I've told you guys before, we place them under the trees as an offering to the little nature spirits, any actual animals around here, but also to the trees and to their soil. Eventually that'll decompose and it will enrich the soil. So we left an offering here and actually over at our tree over there that's dead. And you might be asking why you would put food underneath a dead tree, because I found out that the way trees operate, even in the third dimension, they're sending energy to dead trees. So even though it's dead, it's technically still alive. Very interesting. So I was like, offering away.
All right. Well, this one's very much alive, but we gotta sign off if we're gonna stay alive. It's windy out here.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose our equipment. We're chasing after it. So,
all right. So, hey, if you have topics that you would like us to discuss in next week's Walk and Chat, definitely let us know. But we appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. So,
did I dance again? What was it?
No.
Okay.
All right, you guys, we'll catch you later.
Ciao.
Bye.